we will learn 9 textures today. That's why we have a square with 9 spots. Okay, so the first one that we are going to learn is how to create a wooden texture. So we'll draw a log of wood. So for that, just 2 lines and then just make a cylindrical shape. Next we will start drawing the texture. So for the wood we will start with the center, and I'm moving the pen in concentric circles. And then I just go out of the page. Then I'm going to make more lines around it. On each side, on both sides. Then you can make more small concentric circles. So when I'm making the circles, I'm moving my pen in a zigzag manner. To give in that texture. And then even in the oval part, we'll start doing that same thing. We'll do zigzags. And there we have a log of wood with lots of texture in it. Next we will draw a cactus with lot of spiky thorns on it. So we will begin by sketching the outline. Again, when I'm doing the outline, instead of doing it smoothly, I'm moving my pen in small zigzag lines to make the shape. I'm going to make one more on this side. So that it has a rough texture feeling to it. Then I'm going to make a small one right in the middle. So in the next step, we are just going to add some spikes. Those are like thin mini lines pointy towards the top. Make some moving out of the side. Some on this one too. I'm going to make one more here. And some more on this side too. And that's how we make a rough cactus spiky texture. The next one that we are going to do is a yarn of wool. We'll make a circle for the yarn. And then along the circle, I am going to make these lines which look like it's the threads going around. and I'm going to make a little bit of wool come out like this. And that's the texture of a yarn. Next we will do a woven basket. We'll start with lines on each side and then some across. Then for having a woven texture, we want it to have like alternate, like this is up and this is down. So for this one we'll do like this, and then stop here, and then we go like this, and we go over it. So you have to make an over and under design. Let's try that with a basket. Let's try to make a basket, outline of a basket. And then we'll make dashes like this, then like this, make it close to each other. And then here it goes the other way. That way it's alternate. Yes, that's how it goes. And then this. And that's how you make a woven basket. Then the next texture we are going to do is a soft cloudy texture, and we'll also do a little fur. So we'll start with the clouds. Just making soft, round shapes joined together so that it looks like clouds. Then next one is okay, so next is a soft fur. So the fur will be in a circle, but I'm pressing my pen very lightly and doing these small lines in a circular manner. And that's the texture of fur. Next we are going to do rough grass. So for that we are going to make long spikes. So we are making long spiky lines close to each other. It's just like flicking our fingers up, flicking our hands up. And that's how we made some grass. So next we are going to do the brick texture. First we will draw some lines. Then drawing lines, making squares like this. Then in the next line, we don't draw the lines just below it, but maybe in the middle. Next, we take each of these shapes and darken them individually as if they are individual squares. Darken the sides of it. So as you can see, when you add and darken those sides, it looks like individual bricks that have been glued together. So keep doing that for all of the bricks. I'm just going to add some on the top, so it looks like it's a continuation. So once you have drawn outlines over each individual bricks, so the bricks are not so plain, they might have some pores. So I'm just going to add some lines here and there, just to add in some porous texture to it. So just do it randomly, it should not all look the same. Now instead of solid bricks, if you want to use those rounded rocks, so you can create that too. For that, we need to draw the rocks individually like this. It's like a hexagon, kind of. And then you draw more next to each other. And make sure that you are darkening the sides while you do that. Then between these two, I'm going to do in the middle of these two, I'm going to do the second line. So that's how it gets filled. And same as before, we don't want them to be so flat, so we are going to add some pores to it. Yeah, and there we go. We have our brick texture. Next we will do some rocks. So for the rock, first we'll just place some random rock shapes here and there. Make some small, make some big. I'm making a really small one here, and maybe a little boulder behind. Now I want to add some shade at the bottom. Dark. Then even for the rocks, it will have some holes here and there, so I'm going to add in some crevices here and there. Then I'm going to make this side dark where two rocks meet, make a little shade. And there we have the texture of a rock. Next one that we are going to make are waves on the sea. So first I'm just drawing kind of a horizon. I'm just making light dotted lines, or dashes actually, not dots. Then I'm making these lines that kind of slight wavy lines. Next, I want to make a big wave, so I'm drawing a line here. Next, one goes up like a swirly shape, and then this one comes down. So along these shapes, see, I'm sketching it lightly. I want it to have a flow like it's water, so I'm just gonna do it lightly, and it goes up in the shape of the swirl that I made. Same thing, this one is coming down, and then I'm going to add some more water waves all through. You can add some small waves here and there behind too. And that's it. We did 9 textures.
I hope you were able to follow along with this video. See you next time. Bye bye.